Hello everyone, welcome again. Well, in this video, we are going to discuss about assertion. So what are assertion? Assertion are the checkpoint which we add in the test case. These are usually used to validate whether the actual output and the expected output are same or not. Without the assertion, the test case are considered to be incomplete. So there is no point of writing in a test case if you are not having any validation condition inside it. So for validation, we will use assertion. And based on the assertion, either your test case will pass or fail. The most important part is that the point at which the assertion failed, after that entire test case will be skipped. And in our project, we are going to use the assert class for using the assertion. So in my Visual Studio, I am in the page base class. Here I am going to add a property. So public string title, and this property I'm going to use to fetch the title of the web page. So here I will use get, and simply I will call driver dot title, and I'm going to return this. As this particular property is in our page base class, so it will be present in all the classes which are inheriting from the page base class, that is all the classes inside the page object model. Now in our previous video, we have already created the feature file, but we left the assertion part empty. Now I'm going to add the assertion in those empty methods. So the first assertion was that after opening the home page, the file above should be visible. So I will jump to the method definition and here. So, so if I open my home page, this particular link should be visible. So I will open my Firebug and check for this web element. So this is the ID for that particular link. So here I will use assert, which is a class dot. So if I go inside the class definition of assert class, as you can see here, it contains lot of method for validating the expected output and the actual output. So we have assert equal for different data types. Also we have assert not equal for different data types. Similarly, we have is false for validating the false condition, is null for validating whether the entry is null or not. So all these methods are present inside the assert class. So here I will use assert, and one more thing, as you can see here, all the methods are static, so I can directly use the class name followed by the method name. So here I will use assert dot is true, and here I will use our framework method, that is generic helper dot is element present, and the locator is by dot id. So here using our framework method, I am checking whether this particular element is present or not. If it is present, then this method is going to return me true, and that I am validating with the help of assert true. Okay. Similarly, user should be at the login page. So here I will use assert dot r equal. So as you can see here, it will take two argument. First one is the expected, the other one is the actual. So the actual expected title for the login page is this, and I'm going to compare with our actual output. So L page dot title, and this is the same property which we created in our page base. After that, user should be at enter bug page. So again I will use assert dot r equal. The expected title for the enter bug page is this, and the actual title can be get through epage.title. And for the user should be logged out, so here again I will use assert dot is true. So when I log in and do a logout, so when I do a logout, again I will be redirect to the home page. So I will assert for this particular element. So this is the ID. So here I will put assert true. Inside that, generic helper dot is element present by dot ID, and this is the ID. Okay. So again I'm going to put the breakpoint at this place, at this place, at this place, build our solution, and run this script in debug mode. So it has hit the debug point. I will do this step over. So it will open the home page of Bugzilla. After that, it will check for the file a bug link. Okay, I forgot to place the breakpoint over here. So if I do a step over, it will click on file a bug link. Okay, so we had hit the assert, and here it is going to compare the expected title with the actual title. So here the condition returns as true, that's why it is passed. Similarly, I will provide the username and password and click on login button. And after that, again I will assert for enter bug page. So again the assert is passed, and then I will perform the logout and check for the home page. Now in order to demonstrate the failure scenario, I am going to fail the assert intentionally. So in this run, we have seen that by putting the proper assertion, you are validating the condition, which is a very important part of the test. So let's say I will just change the expected, and again I will run the script in debug mode. So it has hit the debug point. I will do the step over. So again it will do the assertion. It will check for the file a bug link, and this is passed. After that, it will click on file a bug link, and now here I'm doing the assertion. So the expected is this, and based on the actual. So as you can see here, we are getting an exception. An exception clearly says that assert equal is failed. So if I copy this, so as you can see here, the assert.r equal method is failed because we are expecting this as a title, but actual this is the title which is coming. Now as I told you, once the assertion is failed, the test case will stop there and it will not proceed with the further execution. So as you can see here, our test case got failed because of the assertion failure. And if I click on the output link, so as you can see here, let me copy this. So as you can see here, this is the step where our assertion got failed, and after that it has skipped all the rest of the step. And this is happening because there is a assertion failure, and this is a perfectly valid because we don't want to proceed our test case if there is any failure with the expected or actual output. Now similarly, I'm going to run the second scenario, and here also I will check for the assertion. So this is proper. I'm going to just remove this. Okay, this is also proper. So here again I will put assert dot r equal. So this is the title for bug detail page, and after that b page dot title. And this one, so here I will use again assert dot is true, generic helper dot is element present. So if I go to login page, click on login, click on test ng link, and after providing the information, if I click on submit, so it will create a bug for me, and this is the search screen. So here I will check for this particular element. So this will tell me that whether the search page have been loaded properly or not. So by dot id, and this is the id. Okay, now I'm going to run the second feature. So run as debug. So it has hit the debug point. I will do the step over, which will open the Bugzilla homepage in Chrome browser. After that, I will assert for the file a bug link. Then I will click on file a bug link, which will take me to the login page. I will verify that whether I'm at the login page or not using the title. Then I will provide the username, password, and click on login button. After that, I will verify whether I am at the enter bug page or not using the title again. Then here I will click the test engine link, and here again I will verify whether I'm at the detail page by using the title. Then I will provide the information and click on submit. Then I verify that bug should get created or not. So as you can see here, this particular statement returns me true. If I check in the immediate window, as you can see here, so that is why this condition is true. Then I will continue with the normal flow. So again it will check whether the user have been logged out from the Bugzilla by validating the element at the home page. So it is done. So in this manner you can provide or create the assertion inside your test method, and the assertion are very important because the test case is incomplete if you are not using the assertion. The important thing we saw here is that as soon as the assertion fail, it will skip the rest of the step. But there are certain scenario where even there is a failure with the assertion, you might want to continue with the rest of the step. So inside the component helper, I'm going to create the custom assert. Here I will add one more class called assert helper. I'm going to make this class as public, and here I will create the static method public static void r equal. So string expected comma string actual. So as we know that as soon as there is an assertion failure, it is going to throw us the exception. So the idea behind the creation of custom assert is that I will put the try catch and I will put my other statement inside the try catch like this. And inside this try catch block, I will put my assert statement. So if there is a true condition means that expected is equal to the actual, it will go with the normal flow. But if there is a failure condition when expected is not equal to actual, so it is going to throw me an exception. That exception I will catch, and again I will continue with the normal flow. So in this manner, your rest of the test step will not get skipped. So here the code will be same assert dot r equal and expected comma actual. So I will just ignore the catch block. So here I have created the r equal method for string data type, but in the similar manner you can create for the other data type. So I'm going to use this particular method. So for example, in this case, in the previous case, when I supply this as a string, it was failing, and because of that it is skipping the rest of the step. Now here I will use our custom assert. So assert helper dot r equal, and I'm going to pass the same thing. Also I will put a debug point here also, and I will run this script in debug mode. So we already know this is a false condition, and just in order to demonstrate that, we have created the custom assert to handle this scenario. So it has hit the debug point, So it will click on file a bug link. Now I'm going to use the custom hazard which we have created. So as you can see here, because of mismatch in the expected and the actual, it has thrown us the exception, which is catched by the catch block. And as you can see here, it has continued with its normal execution. But in our previous case, it was it got failed because there is a mismatch in the actual and the expected. So in this manner, you can create the custom assert if you want to, if you don't want to fail your test case based on the assert. So there are some scenario where you want to continue with your execution even there is a failure. So in this manner, you can use the assert to put a proper checkpoint in your test case. And also, if you are not worried about the actual matching of the data, that is expected and actual, you can also take the help of assert, custom assert, which will just continue with the normal execution. Okay. So that's all for this video, and thanks for watching.